Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Mom and Dad Cuss a Little podcast. I am Adam.
I'm Rihanna, and I have a headache.
Yeah.
Hi.
You have a headache, but you still wanted to be back. So here we are. And here we talk about parenting and marriage and children and all the fun things that go with it without any of the sugarcoating. Yeah. Again, Rihanna has a headache.
Sorry.
But it's been like over a month, and so.
Yeah. And I kind of figured with tomorrow being Halloween, because we record this shit on Sundays, explicit. Sorry, my bad. I have a headache.
Yeah, we do that. That's why there's a red tag on every episode. This is not called Mom and Dad Speak Softly and Carry a Big Stick. It's Mom and Dad Cuss.
No, yeah. But since we record this on Sundays, I figured there's no way in hell we would be able to sit down and actually record it on Halloween. And we had talked about a couple of ideas for bringing it back and what we wanted to talk about on the show. Because we have been on hiatus just for various reasons.
Yeah. Timing is between work and just life has been getting in the way.
It really has. It really has. We've had a lot of, home stress going on. Yeah. Just, we have 4 little boys and we've got to deal with that first.
4 little boys and 2 full-time jobs and conflicting work schedules.
Exactly. And we are parents first, podcasters second.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
So we're back, even if I have a headache. But thankfully, it's not a migraine. It's just a headache.
Yeah.
So. And you know what I just thought of?
What did you just thought of?
I should have grabbed a drink before we hit record.
You probably should have grabbed a drink. I can get a drink.
I would like a drink.
You realize it's not going to be cold.
That's okay.
Okay. I can get you a drink.
Mead with a little raspberry in it?
We don't have mead with a little... Is it mead with raspberry or ale with raspberry?
I don't know.
I don't know. There you go. Hold on. Okay, now that you have your drink.
And we're back. Sorry.
That was a quick break.
So yeah, we've just kind of been doing our own parenting stuff.
Yeah. We've been doing the parenting thing, much less, not talking about it, just doing it.
Yeah. So.
What do they say? Those who cannot do, teach? Well, we've been too busy doing to teach, so.
Yeah. And I don't even know if we're really qualified to teach. We just kind of make shit up as we go.
Yeah. So teaching. I'm pretty sure every single teacher and professor we've ever had is would be screaming at us right now.
Probably. But in the spirit of getting back into the swing of things, so what I wanted to talk about this week was parents judging other parents and whether or not it's a good thing. Because I feel like a lot of people have a lot of differing views on this topic. Like you always see on Facebook, oh, it doesn't matter if you yell at your kid or if you cuddle your kid or if you helicopter parent or if you're standoff parent or, it doesn't matter what you do as long as you love them. Okay, sure. You always see the posts like, don't judge other parents.
I will judge all the hell I want.
So that's kind of my thing too. It's like, I'm gonna judge you because that's how we learn as parents.
Yeah.
I feel. Like, if I see a parent doing something, I'm like, I'm absolutely not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Ever with my child. Now, I will say people are idiots when they say, oh, well, when I have kids, that's never gonna happen. Okay, you don't get to say that shit until you are in that situation.
You also don't get to really say that until your second kid.
Yeah. Yeah, you really don't.
Yeah, either your second kid or say if you do have an only child, fine. But you also have like nieces and nephews or something. You've got more than one kid of practice. If you're an only child and you have an only child and you have no other child rearing reference point, you've never had to care for more than one kid at a time, you almost lose your ability to make your own parenting calls without judgment.
So I was that parent before we had Charlie, who I was like, I'm never doing this. We are never going anywhere with the kid. We're not traveling. We're not going to the grocery store. My kid will never act up when we go in public. Boy, I learned fast.
Yeah. Well, and in your defense, there is, what, a 13-year age difference from you to your sister?
10 years from me to my sister, 14 from me to my brother.
Yeah. So you were an only child for a long time.
10 years. It was fantastic. It was like utopia.
I am one of 7.
Sorry.
And to be more accurate, I am number 3 of 7, so I've never been an only child.
Yeah.
I have always been surrounded by lots of siblings. Mm-hmm. And so our mindset of how to behave is very different.
And you are also surrounded by not just siblings, but you guys have a large age range.
Yeah.
Like you to Mikey, your youngest brother, the youngest of the family, or the youngest of the siblings, is huge.
13 years.
Yeah. So you're like me and my brother, where you were basically taking care of him, when it was necessary.
Yeah. When he was born, a lot of the care for him did fall on me and our other brother.
Right.
The one down from me.
And see, I think the kind of the biggest thing is you lived with him. So you directly cared for him, did things for him, whatever.
Yeah.
I bounced around between 2 houses. I had my dad's house and I had my mom's house, or wherever.
Yeah.
Location. So I wasn't really super involved in my brother and sister's lives. And even when I was there, I wasn't really super involved because I was in high school and I was doing decathlon and I had youth groups that I was in and, just all these other things. And then I got a job. And so I wasn't super involved in their life and in raising them and in caring for them as young children.
Yeah.
So
I remember times when Mikey was really little where he was, you had the little kid, that sleeps in their parents' bed or whatever. Mm-hmm. I remember times where he would climb in bed with me or with our older brother Morgan, because we were the older brothers, mm-hmm. because his mom, like my stepmom, is a nurse. She works overnight. She's always worked overnights. Mm-hmm. So, late at night, and our dad worked early morning DJ. And so, like,
y'all kind of had that responsibility.
At night, he had to sleep because he had to be up at super early in the morning.
Right.
And she was at work overnight. So it really, it's like we kind of took on that, Mikey's up, he needs to go. He's like looking for a bed to cuddle with. So he slept with us.
Right.
It was just
kind of how it is.
Yeah. It was just
it was kind of a culture shock for me when I became a parent. Like, I remember I had a freaking breakdown when we came home from the hospital, when Charlie came home from the hospital, because he came home after us.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know how to change a diaper. Like, you can't go to work right now. I don't know what I'm doing.
I know. And that tripped me out. I remember that I guess because I grew up with changing my little sister's diapers and changing my other brother's diapers. It was like there were 3 siblings below me that I directly cared for at some point in their lives. Like, I changed a lot of diapers as a kid.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Nope.
And so
I studiously avoided that.
And it is still funny that I still
very studiously avoid that.
Yeah. Because we can't keep on track. But the idea, for me, we've always been so much that opposites attract couple that you had zero experience in the child department, really, in a practical sense. And I had ass loads of child care experience by the time, we had our kids.
Yeah. But so back to the topic of like judging other parents. So if you go online and you look up the term mommy judging, it's a thing. And a lot of moms are like, we're all in this together. It takes a village, blah, blah, blah. Nobody should be judging other people. And you shouldn't judge what another mom is doing because they're trying their best, whatever. Some
people aren't. Some people are lazy as hell.
Some people aren't. And, I I recognize that. But the people who are trying, I'm okay judging them. Like, I feel like that's how we learn as parents. We started judging parents when we were kids, you know? Like, mom or dad did something that pissed us off. Well, when I'm a parent, I'm never doing that to my kid. Or mom or dad did something that, you know, was
Johnny's
just horrible.
mom doesn't do this to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comparing your parents to your friend's parents.
Comparing your parents to your to your friend's parents. So I feel like that's just kind of how we learn to parent, is by judging other parents.
Watching. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily by judging, but at least observing.
I judge.
Yeah.
I'm a very judgy person. Like, low key, I'm gonna tell you what you're doing wrong. In my mind, I might not say it out loud, but
yeah,
I judge you.
I mean, I think there are some things where everybody can generally agree that it's bad parenting. You know, perfect example, right? Willy Wonka. Every single one of those kids, examples of bad parenting.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's like, here, have another chocolate bar.
Yeah.
It's like, I want another pony. You know, these are examples of bad parenting. I mean, it's you know, there was no subtlety about this is about bad parenting, but
Veruca and I were like spirit animals. My God, she and I are so spot on.
You want to be as pampered as she is.
It would be nice.
Yeah, you married the wrong guy. Well. You married the wrong brother to get pampered by, really. Sorry.
To be fair, I didn't know y'all were brothers. If I had known, maybe no, it wouldn't have changed anything.
No, it's still funny. I'm the much more low key I'm the more loving, but I will straight up say my brother is the guy who will he's the guy that would buy out the flower shop and get the 6-foot teddy bear and leave and break into your apartment and leave the 6-foot teddy bear and all of the flowers from the flower shop in your apartment.
So he's the guy that I would get a restraining order against because that shit's creepy. I don't care how romantic you're trying to be. Fuck you.
I was just kind of recreating. There was the movie Twins. Danny DeVito's character screws up, so to apologize because
you lost me when you said movie.
Yeah. But he bought out the flower shop, and then they snuck into her apartment and filled the girlfriend's apartment with all these roses and all this stuff.
Anyway, and
so I'm just he would do something like that. Without screwing up. He'd do that just cause. That's his Valentine's Day present.
Yeah, I kind of have to tell you what to get me, but
because you're picky.
No, because you suck at getting gifts for any occasion.
Yeah. So.
But I feel like, I honestly feel like judging others is how we learn what we should and should not do. So I feel like it's okay to judge. And, if you want to judge me for feeling like it's okay to judge, then that's okay too.
Yeah. We're not going to sit there and be hypocrites about it.
Yeah. Judge me all you want.
How dare you judge me for judging you?
Judge me all you want. I don't care. I'm not going to change my ways. Yeah. But I also feel like helicopter parenting, which everybody is like, oh my God, that's such a bad thing. I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, because you're kind of...
I'm definitely a helicopter
You're absolutely
parent.
A helicopter. No, you're more like a drone parent. You got to be in the helicopter. You are painstakingly watching from a distance. Yeah. You got to be in the helicopter. The drone is remote. It's remote with a camera. Yeah. That's more you.
Yeah.
You can sit on the bench and pilot the drone.
I mean, I do like knowing where they are, what they're doing.
Don't touch that, Sam Sizer.
I'm not that bad. Please. If I were that bad, then the children would actually stay clean for more than an hour.
They're boys.
No, I mean, I am kind of all up in their business most of the time. I do feel like they have a lot of freedom. But I also feel like, and I actually had this conversation with a girl at work the other day, because I was raised in the South where things are with kids, it's kind of the more commonplace thing for kids to be seen and not heard. And so you're supposed to be this polite, presentable, quiet child. Mm-hmm. And if you're not, your dad glares at you and then you get beaten.
Yeah.
which never actually happened. When he glared at me, it scared the shit out of me. So I stopped.
Yeah, that was it. It was the dad's, like mom or dad glared you down and you got in line.
Yeah.
Or you got, unceremoniously removed and you were walking funny on the way home.
Yeah, you got spanked.
Yeah.
And, that's just kind of how it is in the South. So for me, whenever I go places with the kids or whenever I have company over or whatever, I feel like that's how they should be. And so I'm constantly giving these corrections while we have people over, mostly because by people, I mean family.
Yeah.
So I feel okay giving these corrections to my kids while we have family over. So, it's no sit down, no running in the house, things that you would say normally to your children, which I guess has kind of labeled me as this helicopter parent. I don't feel like I am, though. I feel like I'm more just teaching them how to be presentable human beings because that's how I was raised.
Yeah. We expect them to behave, properly.
And I
especially
think
when there are other people around.
Our definition of behaving properly is a bit more strict than other people's.
Yeah. Like we expect, I guess it's always gone to, especially if there are other people around, you should behave yourself. You shouldn't be yelling and screaming and being loud and jumping around. You shouldn't be acting like a crazy person.
Right. You should be respectful.
And be respectful in the presence of others.
Right.
It doesn't matter if this is your auntie or if this is your grandma or it's your cousins. You behave yourself because we have company.
Right.
Or we're at the grocery store. You behave yourself and you are polite and respectful in the presence of other people.
Right.
Yeah.
So in that instance, yes, I do give those constant, and I get to the point where I'm just nagging at them, and I recognize that, but I'm not going to stop.
Yeah. Especially when we're at home.
Especially when we're at home. So I feel like helicopter parenting is okay. So you can judge me. You can call me a helicopter parent.
You're not
I'm gonna
that
judge
helicopter-y, though.
I kind of am, though. I mean, not super, I don't know. I don't go to my child's school.
Yeah. You're not one of those parents that sits there and volunteers 3 days a week at the school so that you are always, right there over them and see everything they're doing. And
yeah, no.
You're not living vicariously through our children, especially because they're all boys.
Yeah.
That would just be weird.
That would be awkward. No,
You're going to join the beauty pageant.
I did.
I never could. No, that's not you.
Rude.
I don't know. I'm not using you as an example.
I'm not pretty enough to join a child beauty pageant.
I didn't know you when you were a child. I'm just going for all of those moms who...
I looked a lot like Bug.
I'm going to go with because the JonBenet stuff has been all in the news, where they talk about those pageant moms who are who push their kids into doing the beauty pageants, or the jock dads who make their kid play, basketball or football or whatever sport that dad flunked out of and never had his big career.
You do realize that if we lived in Texas, all of the boys would be playing football.
I'm sure.
Okay.
But that's just because, it's Texas and you're indoctrinated into football. But I'm talking about those helicopter parents who sit there and push their kids to do the thing that they never could, so that my kid is going to be in the NFL and then it'll be just like if I'd made it way back in the day. Yeah. If I hadn't blown my knee, you wouldn't even be here.
So another thing on the topic of helicopter parenting, and since tomorrow is Halloween, we've had a couple of family members post about the stupidity behind the idea of a trunk or treat. And for those of you who don't know what a trunk or treat is, it's basically a giant parking lot of parents who decorate the trunk of their car, the bed of their truck, the back of their van, with different, themes. One could be a pumpkin patch from Great Pumpkin.
Oh, yeah.
Just whatever. They decorate their trunk to be, cutesy Halloween, whatever. And the kids go around to the different trunks.
Trick-or-treat tailgating. It's
trick-or-treat tailgating. And the kids go around to the different trunks to get their candy. I think it's a super cute idea, especially for little ones, where it's not about... I don't see the difference, really. I don't. I don't care. Because either way, it's just your kid asking for free candy. Like, Halloween has become so commercialized that it's literally not about anything anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't care if you go trunk or treating or trick or treating. On that same note, people who bitch and complain about teenagers who come to their house asking for candy, I'm all for it. Because you know what? Those kids could be out doing something way worse.
Yeah.
They could be going to parties, getting drunk, getting high, dying.
Exactly. Like, would you rather your 16-year-old, like, who has a driver's license, be out at some crazy party, possibly getting, into drugs, possibly drinking, possibly crashing their car because there's a tons of people out there that are already drunk and doing drugs and doing stupid stuff.
Or even if they don't crash, they are on the road with other
crazy drunk people who are out there partying and everything on Halloween. Would you rather them be out there with all the crazy or them walking around your own neighborhood or their friend's neighborhood, trick-or-treating?
Yeah. I
trick-or-treated until I was 18.
Oh, hell yeah, so did I.
and we got away with it. And it was funny because, again, my brother and I, we took out our two younger brothers early, and we took them out before sundown.
Right.
We went out after it was dark. Because we got them, we did our walk with them out of costume, and then we went and did our tour through the neighborhood with our group of friends.
Right.
After sundown, and it was all a bunch of high school kids together, and we had a huge neighborhood, but yeah, even in our neighborhood, all the high school kids, we all went trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
It was just...
And honestly, I'd much rather laugh at the stupid 16, 17, 18-year-olds that show up in a sheet with, eyes cut out, holes cut out for eyes.
I'd love to see that. You never see that anymore.
So, I don't care how much effort you put, how little effort you put. You want to show up and go trick-or-treating in my neighborhood? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would love for you to do that.
Yeah.
Because
you're not causing trouble.
Exactly. You're not causing trouble and you're not putting yourself in harm's way. So
inversely, if you're the teenagers out there, dressed up and you're causing trouble, I will pull out my BB gun and there's going to be a pellet in your ass. Just saying.
No, you really need to rethink your life choices.
Yeah.
If that is you. But I don't know. I feel like people are, I don't know. Society is so double-edged sword,
Yeah.
Because, don't do this and don't do that, but don't judge people for what they're doing.
Yeah. They'll tell you how to behave, but then say you aren't allowed to judge people for how they behave.
Yeah.
Like, well, if you do what we said, we wouldn't have to judge you. Then don't fucking judge me.
Exactly.
Don't tell me what to do.
I feel like do whatever you want to do. Because it's okay. And if you want to judge people for doing what they want to do, that's fine. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing. Don't confront people with your judgment because they don't want your opinion. They are doing their thing. Yeah. If that's not what you want to do, that's fine.
Yeah. You do you. I'm going to do me, you do you. Don't tell me how to do you. Because don't roll your eyes at me like that. So this is part of the thing about doing a show with your wife is that you use phrasing like that, and the next thing you know, she's red-faced over there and rolling her eyes, and yeah.
Trying real hard to keep that comment inside.
But and not to like make it too deep of a thought process, but it's like, and again, we're very opposites attract people, but at the same time, we also kind of, when it comes to people, like the extreme opinions people have in a general way, like your political beliefs or your religious beliefs or whatever the hell it is, you do you, I do me, shut the hell up and don't tell me how to live my life. I don't care who you're voting for.
Yeah.
You keep it to your damn self. You can have your opinion. You can have your political opinion.
Yeah.
And you can do you, and fine. If you want to have a discussion, fine. But don't try and tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Openly. Don't try and convert me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was like, you can sit there and say, like, again, not to get too off, but it's like, we are on varying degrees of political affiliation between us. But
I've
but
told
we
you
can sit
before,
there-
I'll tell you again. You are a Republican, and I say that word with all the malice that I can muster.
I am not. But anyway, but we are able to sit there and have like open discussion and have civil discussion, whereas a lot of other people, namely anybody who shows up to a rally,
Not just people who show up to rallies.
but those people are like those crazy, they're in your face and they're going to sit there and scream at you and tell you you're wrong for what you believe.
I can't, at this point, I can't even post a single thing about the election, and I have very, very carefully chosen not to. Like, I have literally not posted a single thing that has been anywhere, that could be perceived as anything political, because I have friends and family members on both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And those friends and family members are so outspoken that no matter what I post, I'm going to get attacked.
Yeah.
And I'm not all about that. Like, good for you for having your political views. I'm so glad that you voted, because that is your civic duty. That is your right.
Yeah.
It is also mine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I have to say about that.
But yeah, I do me, you do you. Don't try and
Sometimes
convert
I
me.
have
I
to.
don't care if we're talking about political parties or religious affiliations or
Yeah.
what other kind of stuff do people try and convert people on? Oh, you
Religion.
should be a vegan.
Have you tried going gluten-free? Fuck you.
Yeah.
I like carbs.
Yeah. I like carbs. I'm gluten free. No trans fats and no sugars. I'm completely paleo. No. Sorry.
No.
I like hamburgers and steaks, gravy fries.
I want Whataburger.
I want a big plate of gravy fries right now. That's just.
I just want Whataburger. Like, all of it.
There's an episode of King of the Hill where they talked about banning trans fats, and they're like, what are trans fats? It's the part of the food that makes it taste good.
Pretty much. But, yeah. I feel like it's okay if you want to judge people. Just don't be in their face about it. Like,
Yeah.
It's none of your business
Yeah.
in the first place. How they're raising their kid, unless of course they're
Unless
doing
they're, like,
something
if they're doing
blatantly abusive.
If they're being
or whatever.
abusive, that's a whole other thing.
That's
That's
a whole
not
other
judging. That's
protecting the
that's
welfare of children.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other issue. But I feel like that's how we learn as parents, what's good and what's not.
Yeah.
If you see a parent who is spanking their kid, that's what works for them. If you don't think that's what's going to work for you, okay.
Yeah. If you are staunchly opposed to spanking, that's you.
That's fine.
I'm.
If you see a child on a leash, like my 4-year-old, and you have an opinion about it, shut the fuck up, or I'm going to make you take him for a day.
Like, the fact that we have our 4-year-old in a straitjacket on a leash and not the others.
There's
just him.
Just him. There is a very, very good reason for that.
But yeah, you can watch him for a few hours this afternoon, and you can call me to ask how to put the buckles back on that jacket.
Exactly. So I just, every kid is different, and it's so obvious once you have more than one. If you have one kid, then you kind of have it easy. You really do.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's a huge culture shock. Going from 0 to 1 is a huge culture shock.
Yeah.
Going from 1 to 2 is an even bigger culture shock.
Yeah.
Because everything that you did with number 1,
you can throw the book away.
You can throw that book away.
Every time.
Because I guarantee you, at least half of the stuff that you did with number 1 is not going to work with number 2.
Yeah.
It's
the only things that you're going to carry over between kids are tricks about here is the best way to put a diaper on efficiently. Like when we, very quickly learned never, ever, ever change a diaper with the kid facing you.
I don't know why people do that or how. Like, it just doesn't work.
Well, when I was a kid, that's how we did it. It was always like, I'd have like kid laying on the floor and I'd be like sitting there kind of V-legged and kid would be in middle and you change them like that. That's always how you always see it done everywhere in every like movie and everything.
Your sister to this day still changes her son who is like, it's like 15, 18 months?
Yeah, something like that.
On her lap, facing her. I'm like, how the fuck do you have enough lap space? Because I do not have that much real estate. And I've got some pretty big legs. I just don't have that much real estate to hold a baby that's facing me to change it. Like, that's just, I don't get it. Every time I see her do it,
I see my sisters do that. And I was like, we learned very quickly. You don't face the baby. Why? No. That puts a target on your chest.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it's things like that. Or, here's, the best way to hold them when you're doing this, things like that. That's the stuff you carry over. But anything like with personality and actually raising them, that stuff, you throw that book away.
Yeah.
That is the individual user's manual that you're writing as you go with this particular model of child.
Yeah.
That's the 2014 Higgins boy.
Exactly.
This one came with a darker hair color.
On this one, we upgraded the lung feature. Fuck.
This one's got a much louder horn than the previous models.
Yep. This one is a bit off kilter. We're not really sure what's wrong with it. It keeps running into shit.
This one's probably going to have to get a few recalls. There's a recall of this particular model.
Oh, so I actually signed Damien up. We enrolled him for kindergarten because as of March 24th, I have to think about it for a second. He will be 5, which means that August of 2017, he will start school. He will start kindergarten. So they had like a kindergarten information night earlier this week on like Tuesday. And I got him enrolled because it's a small school. The spots fill up fast, especially for the Montessori track that we want to put him on. So I got him enrolled. And as I'm enrolling him, they're like, oh, which teacher did you want? Did you want the traditional or did you want the Montessori? And it's like, no, we want the Montessori. Charlie had Miss North. And so we definitely want to stick with her. She's great. I was like, I'm probably going to owe her a bottle of wine after this child, but we like her, so. Yeah.
Great teacher. We like this teacher. We want him to be in her class. We fear for her, but.
I just don't know how she's
feel like we're going to owe her a bottle of wine by the end of the school year, but.
We might owe her 2. One for every break. Fall break, winter break. Sorry. So.
He is the one that we felt like we needed like a sign on the front door, beware child bites.
Yeah, whenever he got excited, whenever he was happy, he would bite.
Yeah.
Like, he just couldn't contain his emotion. So he bit people.
Yeah.
He still does sometimes.
Sometimes. Not as much anymore.
He's gotten better about it. But, and I do feel like on this show we have judged people for their opinions on child raising. Mostly, though, we judge those blogs that are like, oh my gosh, your child is just going to be so perfect and you're going to fall in love immediately and it's just all glitter and rainbows. And that's not.
Just wait till your medication wears off.
That's not how life is. No. Like, sorry.
Life is not glitter and rainbows and
no.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Not magic, happy, fun time. It's how the fuck did I end up on
rainbows
the floor
and unicorn farts and all that. Hell. I don't know why. Okay, every time I say candy coating at the beginning of the show, I always have this vision of cotton candy in my head. I'm picturing cotton candy every time I say that line.
Is it blue or pink?
Rainbow. Shut up.
You would.
Yeah.
To conclude, judge away.
Like, we cannot tell you not to judge. That's almost the whole point of the show.
That is exactly what we're here for.
Yeah, we are here, but we do it in a creative, what's the word? Constructive criticism sort of way. Like, we're never going to tell you you are blatantly wrong we're not going to tell you shouldn't do this, but we are going to strongly suggest certain things or strongly express our opinions about why we feel that is not a good idea.
Yeah.
Because it might work for you. Our kid in a straitjacket works for us.
If only they made them that small.
I know. We have to deal with.
I'm sure they do, but we don't have one.
We don't.
But we do
one.
have a leash.
We have a leash.
It's one of those like backpack monkey things.
Yeah, we got a backpack monkey that works pretty well as far as that goes.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't fight it too much. He gets tired of it after a little while, but it works for us. Yeah. If it's not something that works for you, that's fine.
Yeah. It only works for him.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of him,
he's sitting here playing with your hand.
He likes to click my nails together.
Click your nails together 3 times. There's no place like bed. There's no place like bed.
Oh my. Ow. Sometimes he stabs me when he does it.
Yeah.
With my own nail.
You get stabbed to death with your own nails.
It's a weird way to go.
Well, fingers bleed a lot, so you know. Theoretically.
Y'all, if I die, it was planned, okay? Like, I'm worried. So, let's see. What are the mom and dad of Mom and Dad Cuss a Little up to for the rest of the week? We are celebrating Halloween tomorrow. I actually have the day off.
Yep. Since it's Monday, I always have the day off anyway, so.
Yeah. We will be breaking down yet another pumpkin to puree and freeze to make pumpkin pie.
That's something I think we need to actually cover that. Not necessarily giving away our pie recipe.
That will not happen.
Well, that will not happen. But at least going through our procedure and like because our pie has become like our signature thing around here.
Kind of.
Our friends and family idolize our pie. So
we will get into that on another episode.
Yeah.
We'll call it like a baking episode or something.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it for this week. Some things to expect in upcoming shows. I'd like to update you on how the school year is going this year. I know some of you were with us when we had our school year last year and we thought the teacher was not so fantastic. We have a different teacher this year. So,
yeah, we haven't really covered much because we've had such a big off stretch.
Yeah.
There hasn't been much coverage of the new school year.
So we'll get into some of that. We'll get into some of the stuff that we do on a daily basis around here. And we are kind of looking at breaking down vlogs, parenting vlogs that we find. Yeah. And giving our opinion on them. So if you guys have any suggestions for blogs that you currently read that you would like our opinion on, send them our way.
Or just like parenting news stories and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You know, you see something interesting, you know, send it our way, you know, link it to the Facebook page so that, you know, we can check it out because anything, if it's parenting stuff, we could, you know, if you're listening to us, you obviously at least have some, you know, inkling and liking of our opinion of things. So let's give us.
Or you just think I'm pretty.
I'm just going to point out this is an audio format.
Shh.
I will say there are guys at work that listen to the show. More probably as a favor to me because they're like, "Oh, you have a show? Let me listen to it." But I've had so many people.
Sure, that's how it happened at work for me too. Yeah. So it's okay.
But I think it's funny because all of the guys at work are like, "That's your wife?" I'm like, yeah. Like, she has a really good voice. I was like, yeah.
It's awkward.
I don't think about that. But yeah, I will say you come across in audio much better than I do.
I don't know.
And I grew up in radio.
I feel like I have a really deep voice when I talk.
You don't?
I feel like I do.
I have a deep voice. It's not that deep in my head.
I would hope so. You're kind of a guy. Kind of.
Only kind of?
Only kind of.
Okay, but for a guy, I've been told I have a really deep voice. Unless I'm up... I realized I up-talk a lot when I'm on mic, but that's a whole other thing.
You should hear me on the phone at work.
Oh no, you just sound fake happy when you're
I have to.
when your job is working on the phone in customer service, you have to sound fake happy. That's just what you have to do. It's just like when I was a restaurant manager, I had to put on a happy face for people.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I'd had coworkers tell me that was like I was really good at the BS side of the business, making people think I gave a shit. I was great at that.
Some other things that we'll go into on future shows will be like our tips and tricks for just getting through life with 4 children.
Yeah, like holding the baby sideways.
I know we've kind of gone over some of the things that we do, like how we budget, what our, weekly food menu looks like. Things like that we've touched on, but I do want to kind of get into more of the tips and tricks, like survival guide. So we'll explore some of that together. We'll hold hands, skip through the forest.
That sounded a little too rainbows and unicorn farts, but okay.
Sorry.
I just like that. I've heard that somewhere else, and I like that one.
But
cotton candy and rainbows.
I think for this week, that's gonna be about it. Oh, honey, you are in the show. It's an unfortunate truth.
You are in the show right now, buddy. Because you won't stop talking.
Because you won't go the fuck to sleep. If you haven't read that book,
that's a great book.
Please.
I don't know.
It's called Go the Fuck to Sleep. And it is excellent.
I've seen it read by LeVar Burton and Jennifer Garner. Either way, I think with LeVar doing it, it's just because he's the reading rainbow guy. So him sitting there in like a little library reading circle. I was like, oh, it's great.
Yeah. So I don't think we'll have a segment this week. Sometimes we do our shit I shouldn't have to say in this house, or Damienisms, weird things.
We didn't so much have the show laid out this week. It was just kind of like, hey, we want to talk about this, and here we're at.
Checking in with y'all, letting you know where we're at and what we're planning on doing for future shows.
Yeah.
So that being said, I think that for this week, that is all. Do you want to tell them where they can find us and all that jazz?
So, if you like the show, and since you've made it, and you're afraid if you don't, you've made it this far at least, so you've got to have gotten a kick out of something. But remember to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play or Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts at. There are even links on the webpage at momanddadcuss.blogspot.com where you can subscribe to Stitcher and iTunes and Google Play and all those fun things. Just go to the webpage, find the button, and click and subscribe right there. It's that easy. And if you really like the show, you can leave a review on whatever podcast little doodad you like to use. And that'll help more people find us, and it's really cool. And if you do leave a review, let us know, or we'll look it up, and we will read your happy fun review or your oh my god you guys suck review on the air, because why the hell not? And if you have any fun little doodads or anything you want to share with us, or you want to get in touch with us, facebook.com/momanddadcuss, or you can email us at momanddadcuss@gmail.com. Anything, any parting words this week, my dear?
Say goodnight.
Good night.
That was Damien. And until hopefully next week, I'm Adam.
I'm Rihanna.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.